Today is the dawn of a new era. The task before us is enormous. We're going to stay here all night if we have to, so let's get started.
Welcome to Watch Mojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the best SNL sketches featuring the incomparable Chris Farley.
For those of you who don't habla español, El Nino is Spanish for the Nino.
Number 20. Bobby watches Grandma.
Where's Joey?
He went back to his room.
I need him.
Oh, I can get it. What do you need?
I need Joey.
Well, he's busy.
I want Joey! Joey! Joey!
It's not often that you get to watch Chris Farley be normal in a sketch. While watching his grandmother, his character Bobby tries to keep the woman happy. This is all the more chaotic with Adam Sandler playing the grandma. Their back and forth creates some great comedy moments as the fictional personalities clash.
You have to listen if you're gonna get the one I want! Okay, now a little more, please. Keep going. You got it there! Oh. You scared me!
Michael Keaton also pops in to play the angry brother, making the younger sibling's life even harder. It's a comedy of errors that culminates in a classic fall. Farley turns aggravation into an art form, making you feel for the man and laugh at him at the same time.
What are you doing?
He's taking my money!
Number 19. Not Getting Any. Losers.
So what do you think the problem is?
Well, I don't know, but I hate it. It's all I think about, man. I can't sleep. I can't concentrate at work. Frankly, I'm scared.
This sketch tackles the universal feeling of being in a romantic drought. Chris Farley plays just one of a few unlucky guys, mixing comedy and misery together. The comedian's character gives a long explanation of his problems. With each new detail, the speech becomes more hilarious. The performer even provides his own rendition of a Fleetwood Mac song.
Then I'll usually say, later you'll let me lay you down in the tall grass and let me do my stuff.
This all comes together with some enjoyable banter alongside other talents like Michael J. Fox. His presence adds to the scene, with his frequent outbursts giving each moment a fun edge. It might not be the best script in SNL history, but it does show that Farley makes everything funnier. Number 18. Breaking into the Central Park Zoo polar bear cage.
What happened? What happened? Did the bear get him? I'm not wearing my glasses.
Yeah, the polar bear killed Jay. What do you mean you weren't talking to me? You were looking right at me when who you call Mr. Dictionary.
Just for pure dedication, each performer in this sketch deserves a medal. Chris Farley and his castmates play friends who jump into a polar bear cage. The violent results don't seem to faze them, resulting in a bizarre scene that's full of all-stars. Farley delivers on a crazy script and interacts with fellow legends Norm Macdonald and Adam Sandler.
Mr. Dictionary, oh my God! He totally burned you, man! Oh, you better hope that nickname doesn't stick, Mr. Dictionary.
It might not make that much sense, but it's fun to watch the group fight among themselves. All of them bring their own energy to the piece while also entertaining themselves. Most importantly, Farley gives 110% the entire way.
Now, Farley, did you or did you not hear me tell him that there was a bear still in that cage, huh?
Well, you know what? I wasn't really listening that much because I was trying to remember who's been killed.
Number 17. Pepper Boy.
Frosty Pepper.
Why, yes!
Say when?
Even when he isn't the lead in a sketch, Chris Farley reminds us that no part is too small for his vibrant personality. This absurd scene follows two waiters as they dish out pepper to guests, with their adventures taking them to a table with Farley's character. The comedian is instantly hilarious with his wild beard. He then opens his mouth, stealing the sketch away from his co-stars.
Why, thank you, Pepper Boy! That's the perfect amount of pepper! Bravo!
Grazie.
It's already a funny moment that's made better by Adam Sandler's reaction. Almost breaking his fellow cast member, Farley shows that he doesn't need a bunch of lines to get laughs.
You take the pepper, Carlo. Take the pepper. Take the pepper. Now go. Go with the pepper.
Number 16. Newt Gingrich.
Well, sounds good to me. All in favor, say aye. Aye! No need to bother with the nays. The ayes clearly have it. The bill passes.
He's known for playing wacky characters, but Chris Farley can also do impressions. His take on the former Speaker of the House is completely energized. The sketch shows the comedian in top form, shaking up Congress with his fast-talking and hard-hitting pace.
Line item veto.
Love it. All in favor? Aye. John, go. Hit me.
Welfare reform.
Beauty. All in favor? Aye. All right. Not bad. Let's pick up the pace.
Newt Gingrich is funnier here than he has ever been, with a hilarious use of the gavel. Farley commands the screen in an underrated political satire. His full-throttle performance never lets up, turning the House of Representatives into a lively auction. You can't take your eyes off this legend as he carries the entire sketch.
Okay. HR 590, the proposal that live from New York, it's Saturday night!
Number 15, Splash Zone.
She's cute.
And my, wouldn't you know it? My seat's right next to hers. Better luck next time, loser. How you doing?
Even while competing with George Clooney, Chris Farley shows he can out-charisma anybody. He's on fire here as a whale keeps splashing him with water. The character gradually loses it over the course of the scene, drawing huge laughs in the process.
Damn it! That fish really got me! Son of a bitch! Oh my God!
It's hilarious to watch the comedian flare up with anger. Farley raises his voice like nobody else can, turning every piece of dialogue into comedy gold. He even dumps a whole bunch of food in another standout moment. Through the endless cascade of waves, the performer shows that he is ready for anything.
I've got to see this! Son of a bitch! Oh my God!
Number 14, Focus on Beauty 2.
Dear Lori, I'm so excited about the way my hair looks after using your products. Here's another. Dear Lori, I have never used such an exciting hair care system.
If you love infomercials about questionable products, this accurate sketch is for you. Chris Farley's character shows off a new beauty line. The talented comedian is all smiles throughout the sketch, running through items with an upbeat attitude.
No, I'm talking no alcohol. Alcohol free.
That is so exciting.
No wonder it's not sticky.
Farley reveals that he can create laughs in a more subtle part. He talks about ingredients and answers questions, with each one being funnier than the next. The goofy scene feels like it could be taking place on another planet at certain points. In a fantastic parody, the performer shines as he portrays a shallow TV personality.
Come on, oh girls, look at the volume in this hair.
Oh, this is so exciting.
Do you believe it?
So
Do you
much
believe that volume?
Look at that volume. That is so exciting.
Woo! I'm better now. I think I just got too excited about my hair.
Number 13, Matt Foley, A Scary Story on Halloween.
Now, as your father told you, my name is Matt Foley, and I am a motivational speaker. Before I begin, I ought to tell you a little about myself so you'll know where I'm coming from.
While we'll get to Matt Foley's debut later on, we first wanted to highlight how entertaining Farley's portrayal of the motivational speaker is during the subsequent holiday-themed version of the character. This time, he tries to teach lessons to unruly kids, but some hilarious surprises interrupt him.
I'll get it. Don't worry about a thing. Trick or treat. Oh my God! My God!
He first has to deal with a prank at the front door. This puts the performer in a funny situation where he has to put out a fire. The fun isn't over either because the comedian still has to go through a window. Foley proves to be one of the best physical characters ever, allowing Farley to break things in another laugh-inducing scene.
What are you looking at? I've done my job. If you need me, I'll be extracting glass from my rear end in a van down by the river.
Number 12, Chris Farley as Bennett Brauer.
Thought the network bigwigs would have sent Bennett and his negative Q rating on a slow boat to Shanghai.
This Weekend Update segment centers around a correspondent who loves air quotes. Chris Farley gives his all to the role, but he's really just building up to a big reveal. He's actually hooked up to wires and preparing to fly over the stage.
I'm flying! I'm flying! I'm flying!
Holy shnikes! Look at Kevin! But I'm doing something! Please!
This doesn't go according to plan, creating a hilarious mishap. Farley improvises through the mistake as Update host Kevin Nealon tries to help him out. Pretty soon, he breaks free and soars over the studio audience. It's a chaotic appearance that reveals the comedian's versatility, with him rolling with the punches and flying like a bird. Number 11, Zagat's with Hank and Beverly Gelfand, Anniversary.
What do you want?
Hank and I are celebrating our 35th wedding anniversary tonight, and we're very excited, Hank and I.
No!
Chris Farley had the kind of talent that gave every role a spark. His work here as Beverly Gelfand convincingly mimics a housewife, with Adam Sandler playing the husband Hank. Their on-screen chemistry fuels some hilarious banter about their anniversary.
The City Steakhouse serves the best beef in town. Their sensual setting will set the mood for any romantic rendezvous. Oh, hear that, hey?
While looking over Zagat's guidebook, Farley's character turns into a free-spirited woman who's the opposite of a cranky partner. Sandler even holds back laughter at one point while watching his fellow comedian give a dedicated performance. From the voice to the wardrobe, the lead performer bounces off of his comedy friend with glee.
Hank and I have decided to spend a nice, quiet evening at home. Isn't that right, Hank?
The book is gone, but the mouth goes on.
Number 10, Rudy Giuliani's son. Rudy Giuliani's 1994 mayoral inauguration speech made nationwide news thanks to the upstaging antics of his young son. But that was nothing compared to the incident's treatment on SNL.
My dad's mayor.
Chris Farley's on-screen chemistry with Kevin Nealon is at the forefront here, as Chris makes faces and mugs for the camera.
Yeah! Oh yeah! I love my mayor!
Nealon can barely keep it together while trying to play straight man to the irrepressible Farley. And their combined live from New York call-out for this cold open really sets the stage for a sentiment we'll be returning to often during this list, that Chris Farley was truly loved by his castmates.
Someday, we can all say,
Live from New York, it's Saturday night!
Number 9, Gap Girls. Adam Sandler, David Spade, and Chris Farley were a team on and off the screen, so naturally they worked well together on many a famous SNL skit.
Can't believe how slow it is in here today. We've got so many looky-loos.
The trio was particularly funny in this recurring sketch that saw them playing teenage girls working at Gap. It's how dedicated Chris and the boys were to their characters that saves the sketch from the obvious pitfalls.
When I was making out with her, it was weird, but I didn't hate it.
Gross! Get away!
Oh my God.
The accents, physical mannerisms, and hair flips lifted the Gap Girls from a pretty basic premise into a sketch that almost always brought the house down.
I'm sure! Look at that! Do it!
Number 8, Lunch Lady Land. We all know that Adam Sandler is a master of musical comedy, but not even he could hold a candle to the force of nature that was Chris Farley.
Well, I wear this net on my head, 'cause my red hair is falling out. I wear these brown orthopedic shoes, 'cause I got a bad case of the gout.
Here, Sandler's Lunch Lady Land receives the pantomime treatment from Chris as the titular school chef, as other cast members dance around as angry pieces of food.
The spatula, just do what you're told. Then the liver and onions started joining the fight, and the chocolate pudding pushed me with all its might.
Farley's facial expressions and enthusiastic dancing are to die for, so much so that Sandler can barely hold back his laughter. Lunch Lady Land may have already been a funny song, but it took Chris Farley's hilarious performance to make it iconic.
We got 6 kids and we're doing just fine.
Number 7, Schiller Vision Hidden Camera. Sometimes it's what we don't expect that really gets us rolling.
You're drinking Colombian decaf coffee crystals.
That was certainly the case when it came to the SNL sketch Schiller Vision Hidden Camera, where Chris Farley made it a point to go off the rails with his performance.
You no good damn.
The skit sketch is a parody of the old coffee commercials where a company would switch an average person's cup of joe with their brand. Only Farley's character does not take this deception very well. He flies off the handle when served Colombian decaffeinated coffee crystals, cursing and overreacting in a way that goes against the grain of the OG commercials, and Chris's own easygoing nature. Number 6. The Chris Farley Show. We can actually imagine kind of loving a real interview program featuring this fictionalized version of Farley.
Songwriter ever. God, that sounds stupid. God, an idiot.
In this sketch, Chris plays a well-intentioned and passionate interviewer who's just a bit too starstruck by his guest, the Beatles' Paul McCartney.
Remember when you went to Japan and at the airport they arrested you because you had some pot and made all the papers and everything?
Well, to be honest, Chris, I'd kind of like to forget all that.
Idiot!
His enthusiasm is there, as well as his nerves, but he just can't seem to get his line of questioning right. That is, until a very sincere question about the Beatles' Abbey Road album gets him a short but very sweet answer from Paul.
I find the more you give, the more you get.
Seeing Chris's happy reaction to one of his heroes gets us every time. Number 5. Bill Swirsky's Superfans. This recurring SNL sketch may be something of an ensemble piece, but Chris Farley's character, Todd, had a number of moments that fans still remember fondly.
The Bears. The Bears.
Some may be a little morbid, but then again, the Superfans were a bunch of die-hard Chicago sports fans whose diet consisted primarily of beer, cheese, and cured meats.
Coach Ditka had his mind on more important things. There was a war on, my friend.
That's right, our boys were overseas.
Yeah.
Todd would choke on pork chops, have multiple heart attacks, play his own wife in drag, and overall just make it difficult for anyone sharing the Superfans table to outshine him. He always stole the scene.
You gotta remember to chew those pork chops, buddy.
Number 4. Schmidt's Gay Beer. While we've already mentioned another SNL parody of popular commercials, their Schmidt's Gay satire hits the funny bone on a whole other level.
You two look like you need to get wet.
Farley and Adam Sandler shoot this video clip as typical single bros, house-sitting and planning a wild beer bash. This beer commercial is a little different, however, as instead of bikini-clad babes, the boys are going gaga for Schmidt's Gay, the beer choice for buff beefcakes.
If you've got a big thirst and you're gay, reach for a cold, tall bottle of Schmidt's Gay.
Seeing the pair go through all of the typical motions you'd see in an 80s or 90s beer ad, while completely subverting expectations, is hilarious, while its satirical take on the ad industry still resonates today. Number 3. Japanese Game Show. There have been plenty of comedy shows that have tackled the wild world of Japanese game shows, but this episode from 1994 was early to the party, and in a great way.
I don't know. I'm sorry. Does anybody here speak English? Do you guys speak English?
Farley is a stranger in a strange land as the only person on a Japanese game show who doesn't speak Japanese.
Hachi? Ju-hachi?
Tadashi! Tadashi! Tadashi!
This could have been a one-joke sketch, but it gets darker when the other contestants have to pay a horrible price for their wrong answers.
Excuse me, I won. What the heck are you doing here? Hey!
Chris's character somehow gets to the final round through dumb luck, only to find himself tied up and electrocuted while still insisting that it's all a big mistake. Number 2. Chippendales Audition. Even people who aren't avid SNL fans are still familiar with this iconic skit. It's not so much the setup of a Chippendales audition that makes this scene with Chris Farley and Patrick Swayze so funny, but rather the execution. The judges and cast take the competition between Swayze and Farley so seriously, and the performances are so deadpan, that Swayze seems sincerely relieved when he gets the job over Chris, who certainly has enthusiasm on his side.
I'm sorry. I just never wanted anything so much in my life, and now that I got it, I just can't deal with it.
Oh, that's okay, Adrian. We understand.
If for some reason you've never watched this classic SNL moment, do yourself a favor and check it out now.
No, Barney. No. No, Barney, we've made our decision.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications. Number 1. Matt Foley. He lives in a van down by the river.
I am 35 years old. I am divorced, and I live in a van down by the river.
This may have been motivational speaker Matt Foley's signature line, but it wasn't the only thing that made this Chris Farley sketch such a success.
Brian, from what I've heard, you're using your paper not for writing, but for rolling doobies.
Chris's boisterous movements, his intense knack for physical comedy, and the reactions of his co-stars all made his Matt Foley segments some of the funniest in SNL's run.
And I wish to dear God that I was living in a van down by the river.
Thanks to Farley's truly one-of-a-kind talent, even his castmates struggle to keep a straight face. But that just makes the skit even funnier. His work here is still making us laugh so many years later.
That's funny! Well, get over it!
Did we forget another highlight from Chris Farley's SNL career? Let us know in the comments below.
I feel great! The cold's all gone. Did I miss anything?
Not much.
Oh, I missed the Super Bowl, didn't I?
I've got it right here.
I love you, honey.
Did you enjoy this video? Check out these other clips from WatchMojo, and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.